Welcome back to Gear Chat. You. Welcome back to Gear Chat University. I am John G, and this is John G TV. All right, as we come back this week, um, apologize for the if I don't really quite seem like the regular my regular self or whatnot. Um, but um, yeah, to anyone that has lost a loved one, whether it's recently or just in general, you know, my condolences to you and yours. Um, well, I guess I really can't say because if I say it, I ain't gonna be able to hold it together. So I can't. Unfortunately, I can't say the words right now. But um, so I don't want it to turn into something else. But yeah. So again, I apologize for the different mood, but this is life, and you know it doesn't get any more real than the things that happen in it, and lost or losing a loved one is definitely a part of that, a part of this existence. So um, this week on Gear Chat University, the thing that I would like to talk about is audio interface. Audio interfacing. Um, the thing that I kind of have been recently racking my brain over is, I guess to cut it short, is it all a hustle? Like, does it matter um, between one or the other? Because all these different audio interfaces are coming out, and the price range is from anywhere from maybe 60, 70, $80, I don't know, $100 all the way up to 2,000. And I'm just really starting to ask myself how much of a difference um, does one make over the other? If one costs 200 and one costs 500, I guess the point I'm trying to make is this. Let me just cut to the chase of it. Is in a blind taste test, do you think you're gonna be able to tell the difference? between one or the other. If I put a $2,000 recording on and the one that cost $100, and I did a blind taste test, are you gonna be able to judge the difference and tell me that this was recorded on that? And that's the extreme scale, the one that costs the most to the one that is the cheapest. So what if I start playing in the middle between 800 and 400? Are you gonna be able to tell that $400 difference? And I'm starting to call bollocks, basically. Like I think it's bullshit, basically. I don't think there's much of a difference. I'm not saying that there is no difference, but does the difference uh sub, substantiate? Is that the right word? Does the difference um equate or match the the price difference? Like if it's a price difference of $500, am I hearing sonically $500 worth of a difference to go, oh yeah, I gotta have this one over that one? So, right away on some middle school science project type stuff, you know what I'm saying? You put the thought out there, you put the question, then you gotta prove it, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So I went and did some research, and I found this one YouTuber called Mix Your Sound, fellow YouTuber, and he has a channel, and he has a video that he published on April 24th of 2017. Excuse me. And it's titled UAD Apollo 8 Duo versus Audient ID22. And I suggest you go and check it out. So far, it's got 10,000 reviews, and like 41. I'm sorry, how many comments on here? Definitely read the comments, because the comments are like, uh, it's interesting. That's all I can say. I don't want to talk about the video and what the results were, but the long of it is when you go and listen to it, my thing was, I'm like, dude, I'm not, like, I could barely tell when the change, like, if I wasn't looking at it and seeing when the change was, like, if I would close my eyes and listen, I, man, I'm talking about minuscule. So, and this was between like I said, the Audient ID22, which costs like 350, and the UAD Apollo 8 costs like 1900. Come on, man, that's a substantial difference in the pocket. And sonically, I just don't see it. I'm not hearing something that makes me say, "Oh yeah, I see why. I see why I just spent this much more money." I can't say that. So, um, I suggest you go check that video out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely give it a thumbs up, or if that's what you choose, if or that's how you feel. But I definitely think it's a video worth checking out. Now, with that being said, I know a lot of you, which is great, are gonna attack it from different angles. Well, it's all depend on how you record it, and all of this is all valid points, because it does, to get a fair lineup or a fair reading, you have to take into consideration all these different um, parameters or matrix, or however you want to. I forgot the word I'm looking for, but you definitely want to take in all these points, because you want to make sure that the recording is recorded in equally and all of this kind of stuff. So the main thing is, well, this test is a nice test, but we're all listening to it differently. Differently, we're all listening to it through different headphones and monitors. So your experience in hearing this may be different than mine, which is valid, because if that's the case, then how are we going to be able to really judge this? So I guess really it would be one that if you did it live on the spot, and you have all your controls to where you can't say, well, it could, no, you take away that. So it would have to be something live where you got two things set up in a situation, and you're listening to it live coming through, not through any kind of compression through YouTube or anything like that. And I'm still saying I don't truly feel like I'm going to hear a difference in price. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a difference between, like I said, one over the other. I'm definitely knowing that you probably are going to be able to tell some difference, but ultimately, one over the other, I don't think you're going to be able to pick it out in the lineup to say which one was higher. And what's funny about this, once you read the comments, it's crazy how so many people picked a certain one. So, um, so to anyone looking at this today that's new to music and music making, and the whole, like I said, the whole reason why this even came to me is I had a Zoom. I have a Zoom basically, Zoom H6, I believe, and I've been using that as actually I was using it initially for when I was doing video because I was on a break from music. I had left music, and so during the absence, I kind of got into picture editing and really a lot of picture taking, and then it was transitioning into video. And along that path, I was getting into, okay, what do I need for the field to get better audio in the field? And that Zoom came up, and I copped that. Great for when I'm out in the field, so I can record high quality audio. So when I get back into music, I'm like, man, that's right. This thing, it can do this or whatever. So I hook it up, and I've been using that, and it works fine. It has four ends. Um, but I've always felt like, for some reason, I don't know why, I just always felt like, is this as good as something else? I don't know why. I'm always like, So finally, that curiosity, if you will, overtook me. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking on here, and it was about four or five that I had because I know I didn't want to spend any kind of money. Like I just wanted to keep it cheap, but I wanted to, if you're like me, you want the best thing for the money, right? So I'm trying to find something cheap, the best thing for, $200 or whatever. So I'm looking at all these videos. I had a nice little lineup. The Steinberg joint. Um, what was the other one? I had crossed out the Focusrites. Uh, it seemed like their marketing with that red won them over big time. But when you go and start looking to the comments and stuff, and it's like it just wasn't really getting too much love. Like people was really big up on other stuff, and one of them was this Audient. I didn't know who Audient was. I have no idea who they were. But when I started to do the research, I mean, man, they were getting praise. So I'm like, okay. I was really leaning towards the Nuendo Steinberg joint because of my experience with Nuendo years ago. And so I always kind of felt like Steinberg was that high end, at least on the software side. They had the software that cost $1,000 way back when. And so I was always like, man, Steinberg is that's that stuff right there. So, to basically, I came down to me getting this. So now I got the Audient IDE 14, and I believe it's like the middle model. I think there's one lower than this, and there's one higher. There's a couple higher than this one. So this is like basically a step above the entry level one or whatever. And on the physical level, the main difference is it has a reading. So as the music is coming through or whatever, it has a reading. On the Zoom, you don't get a reading when I'm just like playing music back, you know, through my monitors. I'm not gonna get that same reading output that lets you know the music is playing or whatever. I don't get that same thing. So I don't get that visual, and that's really the only tactile difference between the two, other than this doesn't have four ends, so the Zoom definitely wins as far as ends. Um, so, but as far as Sonics, I'm not really hearing any difference. I just wanted to, really see if I got. See, like the Zoom is trying to be more than one. It's basically like the mini face guy. It's got all these different. It's a Swiss Army knife. Okay, the Audient is not trying to be nothing. It's trying to be exactly what it is. It's audio interface for a desktop. Whereas the Zoom, I mean the Zoom is trying to be out in the field. It's trying to cover a lot of bases, and it does. It does it well. Like I said, I just always felt like I was kind of losing something. So I went with this, and I like the Audient. I'm not. I mean, so far it's been great. I like the experience with it. Other than the fact that, due to my own ignorance, that whenever it resets, the volume is turned all the way down. So if you are playing music, you will see the meter, but you won't be hearing anything because you got to turn the volume up. But whatever. Once you finally overcome that, then you're good to go. So yeah, I mean it's straightforward. It is what it is. The main difference that I want anybody new to searching for audio interfaces, I need you to know that there's minimal difference between one over the other. There's another video that I should put you guys on to. You should watch where there's an insider. There's an actual working producer who has a video where he's talking about how he's lists like 5 audio interfaces that you should check out. And basically he talks about how he has seen people with Grammys and with hits and the songs that you are hearing on the radio use audio interfaces like the Personas. One that costs $100 right now. He's like, that's what they use. And he went down the list. I think the Nuendo one was on there. I believe the Audient was on there. The Apollo joint was on there. And so the real difference I would like you guys to understand that, in my opinion, the main thing you want to look at is your needs for ins and outs. That's what you're looking for and shopping for with the audio interface. Does it have the amount of ins that I need, and ins and outs that I need? Other than that, and does it come? What kind of extras does it come with? Like my Audient came with like some compression and reverb, um, like I don't know if it's called VSTs or whatever, plugins that I can use. I believe the Steinberg joint was gonna come with probably the LE version of Cubase's. So stuff like that. Like if there's some extras that come with it, then that's the one that you should maybe lean towards, because now if you're just starting out, you buy the audio interface that comes with the DAW, then you winning. Like I mean, you money. You can, for $200 or $300. Now you've killed two birds with one stone. So I would definitely say that is what you should be looking at, and don't get caught into these companies selling you on the actual interface themselves, because there seems to be a whole bunch of them, and I really don't know. I feel like it's more of a hustle more so than anything. I mean, you get the one that you need with the ins and outs, and that's pretty much it. Um, so yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about this week on Gear Chat U, is audio interfaces. How much does it matter between one over the other? You know, how much does that difference between one that costs 500 and one that costs 100? Are you gonna be able to hear that sonic difference of $400? Are you? Hmm. So yeah, I'm not gonna go on too much further on this. I think I've talked long enough about this. As next as the world turns, next week the plan is to come back with the live version of this. So please leave all your comments down below so that we can talk further live about audio interfaces, and hopefully maybe, I don't know, I'll have some kind of control test set up or something. And then from there, of course, any kind of rants or this is what it is. This is open. I'm like Dr. Phil. I'm gonna open it up. We're gonna talk about whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Class is dismissed. You are commanded to love thyself. You are commanded to respect yourself and the people around you. You are commanded to go ahead and make music. You are commanded to uh, learning something new. How about that? How about that? Learn something new and make some music and nothing else. Have fun. Because bullshit ain't even around the corner. Bullshit sitting on the block. Steps away. Just waiting on you. What's that bullshit? So you might as well have fun. Because bullshit on the block, around the corner, around the other corner, around another corner. What the more bullshit. So have fun, people. John G. John G TV.